I think after Don jumps on, I'm gonna get off because I can't do
All
this.
of you are useless.
Oh, you'll get off all right.
Oh, you're sounding pixelated.
My brother in Werebunis, we're doing a fucking German vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, of all the episodes
I
you
can't
missed, you
do
can't
it.
this.
Yeah, well, said German vehicle ain't gonna make me well, is it?
Can't hear you over all that COVID you got.
Jack, tell the ladies to quiet down.
Okay, quiet down. Jesus Christ.
Okay, there's just still this weird echo going on. Am I doing something wrong here?
Oh, hang on. You want to hit deafen as well as mute, because
Yeah,
otherwise
you
you're going to
wanna-
get some major feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Don.
All of you are useless, says the man who's like, oh fuck,
Says the man who's
on.
not deafened.
Don's the type of fellow to just sit in the VC wondering where everyone is.
Okay, how do I also
Literally a
deafen
Zen
instead of
killer.
just mute?
Floki, you want to hit the seeing
They're headphones. They look like headphones.
The headphones,
yeah,
yeah.
get the headphones.
I got a microphone and that's it at the bottom. It's turn on camera, start an activity, share your screen, unmute, and then emojis.
You could also try left clicking on your name in the call, and it should give you an option to deafen.
Ah, okay, there we go.
Who's the mighty Maggie?
Oh, no. Hold on, pausing that.
Quote Woha Pogger.
Oh.
Ooh.
Bro, salt teams just hit different.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Don.
just-
I went to 2 grocery stores. Not one of them had ever even heard of flipping toaster strudel.
Are you
What
serious?
fucking grocery store did you go to?
Metro and Sobeys.
Of course you went to
They're-
Metro
they're
and
with-
Sobeys.
They're with the waffles.
No, they're
With
not.
the
Yeah, they're in the
No,
frozen
I went
section, man.
with the waffles. I checked near the Pop-Tarts and I checked near the waffles, and there was nothing.
That's why you
No.
hit up No Frills.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Bro, I
Or
was
just come to
walking
America, capitalistic dystopia.
I was
Yeah,
just
don't go
walking
to
around
America.
in a phase.
Oh,
Alrighty,
shit,
well,
Who's
on
dying?
that note, you are listening to the Micro Machines podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
And this week, we're talking about the SdKfz 251 half-track. But before we talk about that, shall we do some introductions?
Oh, we need an order to do this.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
You guys can all fight over the order.
Fuck it.
I'm going
I'm going last.
Yeah.
I'm going first. So we got me, Callum, from New Zealand, enjoying a tasty soda, sugar-free because I'm a fat fuck.
That's
What
Dennis go.
flavor? Oh, okay. You got me, Dennis. I'm from Ontario, sitting right next to Don and Jack right now, enjoying a nice black coffee.
Pull your fly up.
I'm Ezra, New Mexico, dying of an undisclosed disease.
COVID.
COVID. You're dying of COVID for the 4th time.
And it was given to him by his boyfriend.
Allegedly.
Which one?
I remember
My
adding
name's
the word
Garrison.
pseudo into that.
Oh, okay,
sentence.
Ezra. Okay.
Ezra's the COVID femboy.
All right, well,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
in a little
Garrison.
short skirt. Oh,
Shut up.
vomiting a little.
Oh, Ezra.
Ezra, let him do his introduction.
Oh,
I'm
go,
a-
Greg.
I'm going to slap you with an 88. Anyways, my name's Garrison. I'm in Kansas. Fuck the military. I'm drinking water.
Slap me with your 88.
I'm Don. I'm from Ontario. I'm not sitting next to Dennis as much as he would like to, and I'm enjoying a lovely South River Brewing Co. Scottish Ale this evening.
Oh, baby.
Fancy.
Oh,
I'm Jack, also in Ontario. I'm the 3rd Ontarian. I've got some water.
my man.
Yeah.
And
fresh.
I think this week we've actually finally managed to get a guest on. We've been trying to get on for the last, 3-4 weeks.
been a
Why
while.
don't you introduce yourself?
I am Clint from Floki's Models. Little YouTube channel. Check it out if you want to. And I am drinking a nice lemonade and iced tea.
My
Damn.
man.
Oh, I salute
believe
that.
it is
Well,
Arnold
that is-
practiced. He looked in the mirror and he practiced that shit.
Damn, he did better than most of us.
He did.
Oh,
Good shit,
wow.
Clint.
Thank you.
God, I always call you Floki. What?
Yeah.
No.
We may refer to you as either Clint or Floki or both at the same time, depending.
That's fine.
Cloaky.
The schizophrenia is rampant in here.
Flint.
And I'm also still getting
It's-
weird echo. I don't understand it.
Is
Hey, you
Clint in
sound
the
fine
room
to
with
me.
you right now?
Well, so we've decided to have Clint on because he seems to be a wealth of knowledge on the SdKfz 251 half track. So why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, great! Finally. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stumble all over this here. So,
Hey, just like you rehearsed. You got this.
okay, where's the disconnect?
Imagine us with
button
no pants on.
then? All right.
He's getting a stiffy. Stop it.
All right.
Speaking of getting a stiffy, okay.
All right. Well,
I
the
thought you were going to go somewhere. Okay.
No.
So, in the beginning,
first thing I want to point out is mostly I think it's Tamiya. They always refer to the 251 as a Hanomag. The Germans never referred to the 251 as Hanomag. There is no evidence of that. In issue number 15 of the Schunzen Panzerwagen from Panzer Tracks, they address this problem as follows. No evidence has been found in primary sources that these armored troop carriers are ever referred to by the name Hanomag, not even as a nickname by the troops. If the name Hanomag had been mentioned during the war to these troops, they would have thought that you was referring to the heavy trucks or buses for which this company was famous for.
Well, to me, it fucks up a lot of shit. So
Wait, so Clint, so if it's kind of like the Hetzer where it never was used in the field, where do you think that the whole Hanomag name came from?
It's
to me, it being stupid.
yeah, Tamiya and other
Yeah, Tamiya.
manufacturers around that time putting the name to it.
because the Hanomag is more of the company that made it, not the
Well, one
sort
company.
of
There
its
was
name.
5
Yeah, one of
different
them.
companies that made them during the war. It was Hanomag design, though.
So that's like calling an F-35 a Lockheed Martin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it would be, I guess.
Okay.
Alright, let's see. We got slide number 1 here. The SdKfz 11. It was designed in 1938 by Hanomag and was the prime mover for the 105mm howitzer and the 37mm flak 43. 9,000 units were built until 1945. This company was the natural choice to fill the next specification, which requested an armored vehicle capable of carrying a section of panzer grenadiers, which is 10 troops, and their equipment in order to keep up with the panzer divisions. Each German mechanized infantry corps was to be equipped with 100 of these. The protection given had to be sufficient against small arms fire and artillery shrapnel, and armament should comprise 2 MG-34s, later MG-42s for defense, and direct support. In German nomenclature, it was classed as a Schützen Panzerwagen.
Oh, look at that.
Damn.
That was that the 11?
Yeah, this is
Clint?
11 right here.
All right.
What's the cannon?
That is the 105mm, I believe.
Looks about it. Yeah.
That is
Okay.
cool.
Interesting.
Looks like something I'd draw as a kid in like 4th grade.
Looks like something I'd draw now.
HIDF.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks
Oh
horrendous.
my god. Oh my god.
Yes, that is a goofy ass self-propelled gun, isn't it?
Well, tell us about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, because the SdKfz 251 was produced by the same manufacturer as the SdKfz 11, the natural choice was to use this HL-KL5 chassis as a base on which a stronger framework supporting the armored panels was constructed. After a few sketches, the sloped armor that characterized the type was taken from the previous 7.5cm L40 prototype, which is this right here, made by Hanser Lloyd in 1937.
So is this a rotating turret on it, or is that just a kind of a shield for the crew?
I couldn't really find much information about this other than, there was some prototypes made.
Right.
That sure looks like
It
it
sure
spins.
does look
Yeah,
like it
doesn't
could
it?
rotate. Yes.
Next slide.
Yep.
You need to tell him. You just need to tell Dennis next.
Oh, okay.
I'm not smart enough to know when to change.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's right. Know your place.
It's not very intuitive.
And this here is, of course, when we think of a half track or the 251, we think of the superior German sloped armored engineering design here.
Oh yes.
No, we don't.
Yes, you should.
I've seen a 251 in person at a museum near my house. That armor, if you punch it hard enough, it'll bend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely over-engineered. If you look at, say, the German, I'm just going to derail a little. You look at the 251 versus, say, the Americans and their half track. The Germans, they designed it so the tracks spin, whereas the American ones is literally just they don't have that ability. That it's all it's basically they extended a truck chassis and attached a track to it. That's basically what they did. Whereas the Germans made this highly detailed, over complicated, engineered thing that has independent movement and stuff like that.
Wait a second. Wait. Isn't the American half-track track, isn't that just a rubber band?
It is.
It is, yeah.
So if
And
you
you
build,
can
if Tamiya does one, and they have a rubber band track, it is technically accurate.
I'll be damned. All right, can we back up a slide?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. This was a risky choice in terms of efficient stowage and production ease, but the idea behind was straightforward. The slope meant that any bullet or shrapnel had to travel through more of the plate while keeping the weight low. The armor protected the entire length of the engine, radiator, driver, and the open-top rear compartment. It was 14.5 millimeters thick with a 14-degree slope at the nose, 10 millimeters with 80-degree slope for the glacis, 8 millimeter thick with 35-degree slope for the side and rear panels, but only 6 millimeters for the flat bottom. The hull was entirely welded with prefabricated sections. The open-top configuration allowed a greater awareness of the situation and allowed a better angle and arc of fire for the MGs. The body was composed of two main sections, the front cowling and the rear open-top passenger compartment. These two sections were made of steel plates welded and riveted to the base chassis. These were joined together by riveting, then reinforcements being located behind the driver's compartment. This provision, associated with the initial strength of the chassis of the vehicle, provided exceptional rigidity. Alright, I think I stumbled through that enough. Next, please. Alright, the engine was the same Maybach HL42 4.17 liter as that of the SdKfz 11. This was a gas-powered 6-cylinder 4-stroke water-cooled engine with magnetic ignition providing 100 horsepower at 2,800 RPMs. It provided
Still
a
more than my price.
12.8 horsepower to ton power-to-weight ratio, given an average 32 miles per hour on the road or very flat terrain, and 13 miles per hour off-road. This was relatively fast for an armored half-track. Steering was done using the front axle with a turning radius of 11 meters. Alright.
Look at that absorbent floor.
Oh yeah, there's, nothing in there must leak. It's just for aesthetic. Alright, the tracks are ZGW 5001/280/140 or the ZPW 5001/280/141 type. Were relatively large and produce excellent grip, especially with the W302 rubber tread pads. Each comprise 55 links on the left and 56 links on the right. The SdKfz 251 was one of the first armored vehicles to be equipped with interlevered wheels. This slack track lowered the ground pressure, but they proved problematic on highly muddy terrain like the Russian spring thaw. The empty weight was 6.89 tons, 7 tons in battle order, and 8.5 tons or more when fully loaded. It had a payload capacity of 1.5 tons and a towing capacity of 2.7 tons, which meant the PaK-36 or a 20mm anti-aircraft autocannon could be carried. Normally crew was 12, including the driver and platoon commander.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there was something with these tracks where they had to lubricate each individual link, like the pivot on it. Is that correct?
Yes, each individual link had a greaser on it.
Oh
Oh,
God! How long would that take?
Oh,
Well, depends on how many was it again? 111 tracks.
111.
Isn't that just the most German shit you've ever heard?
How fast will your boots work?
Like, imagine it. It's like 1943, winter on the East Front. The interleaved road wheels are just full of mud at this point, which is like half mud, half ice. And then you have to be the poor sod who has to get out, wipe the mud and ice off of each individual greaser, and then refill it.
Well, not only that, I mean, you also had a greaser on each one of the wheels, each one of
God.
your I can't think of the name now. Your suspension arm. So there's it probably took you a while.
Don, this just makes me more and more grateful for Canadian Dry-Pin.
All right, the production and evolution. The A and B. The A was the first to appear in mid-1939 and was first allocated to the Panzer Grenadiers attached to the 1st Panzer Division stationed at Rimar. During the spring of 1939, the best equipped German unit at the outbreak of the Polish campaign. Production figure estimates for 1939 are only 232 units. The B appeared in 1940 and was similar in all aspects, but the relocated radio antenna from the step to the rear fighting compartment, and the removal of the rear vision sights for production ease. By the end of 1940, only 337 more would be delivered, and an estimated 500 took part in the French campaign. Alright, and the C variant. Seen in late 1941, was also very similar, but...
Excuse me, what?
Huh?
You said the C. Hang on. You said the C variant?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like the Ocean Sea. Ignore me. I'm sorry.
Oh,
The Marines.
Not everybody is amphibious there.
As I shouldn't be. Keep going, sorry.
HIDF amphibious SdKfz
Oh God,
251.
no.
I mean, as
Put a
many as
prop on the
versions as
back.
there was, it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't on drawing board somewhere.
See, the sticky situation that this particular Hannah mag is in right now. Yeah, I just called it a Hannah mag. This is because they didn't grease the track. Someone slept on that.
Yeah, Hans dropped the ball there. He didn't clear all the mud out of the tracks before they took off.
He cleared 55 out of 56 track links.
And that's why you never half-ass anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking kraut.
He must have been a Polish conscript. No real German would ever half-ass anything, right?
Never.
Where's Ezra when you need him?
Hang on. Where's Val? He can tell us.
Oh.
The ghost of the
Well,
podcast.
you mean the ghost?
Yeah.
Is it Ghost of the podcast?
Well, you look at the work that he produces, and he definitely doesn't half-ass anything. So
That's
Oh, right
true,
on,
that's true. His trebuchet could be classified as over-engineered.
It has redundancy.
Alright. Okay, the C seen in late 1941 was also very similar, but introduced a new flat engine nose plate of 14.5mm thick without any access door. Replaced by a simple hole for the master.
Oh shit.
You better
Smart
hope
idea
that
right
bitch
there.
doesn't break down.
That's a Hetzer situation there.
Let's see. Other minor mass production simplifications, including the rear access doors. Attention was also paid to the engine with the removal of the front hood cooling grid and the lateral access doors, replaced by a
Oh,
large
yeah.
open ventilation box.
Minor modifications. Yeah, we're just going to prevent this thing from cooling itself, and we're going to prevent you from accessing it too. Yeah, it's just a minor change.
Yeah, just tear the whole front end off. You got
I don't
a
see a
couple
problem.
hours.
They're probably not going to live long enough to need to work on it anyways. What's the deal?
That's true.
Oh god.
they have to try to get out of the hatch first.
Yes.
Ivan's putting in some work.
The lower part of the hull was modified to increase the compartment draw. The rear muffler storage boxes were relocated to the rear, and the mufflers themselves were completely modified. The rearview mirror was relocated from the driver's side vision slit to a lower position. The headlights were now fixed directly to the chassis, and the bumpers removed and replaced with towing hooks. Production for 1941 is assumed to be 389 vehicles. However, an increased production was urgently needed, but by 1942 these figures rose only to 424, and around 1,200 for all of 1942. Unit cost was 2,200 and 560 Reichmarks.
What do you mean they modified the mufflers?
They went
That
from
bitch was
the
Tokyo drifting. That's why.
They straight piped the hand on the
they went from the
God.
one that kind of looks like a regular car muffler, I guess, and from what we would be used to seeing, to that weird canister-looking thing that is more.
Also, they put a fart box on it.
Oh yeah, they tried to turn it into a Honda Civic.
It's 1942. It's the middle of the winter. You wake up and you're from your handbag just to hear me cutting your catalytic converter off.
It's
I'll be
Chicago.
having that.
You gonna take the tracks too, or no?
Nah, I'm just gonna drive away in my heated Prius. I'll just freeze to death.
Your heated Prius on the western front or eastern front.
With your Tim Hortons.
Chains on my tires. I can go anywhere.
All right, let's go on to the next. All right, now the D variant. This is the one that pretty much going to talk about the most. This version
D.
was introduced in the spring of 1943
Shut up.
as a set of small changes in design for mass production. 10,602 were built between 1943 and 1945. The modifications included many changes in production design. The number of armored panels reduced from 19 to 9.
Oh, God.
That seems
Oh,
safe.
Permanent stowage boxes with padlock access doors are added, replacing the former rear mufflers. Simple vision slits, simple flat engine hood panels with relocated air intakes under the hull. Simplified reverse sloping rear end with flat door panels. And many other minor modifications allowed the simplification of construction while offering the same protection, and it was far less labor intensive, especially when you're using slave labor.
Wait. You said the air intakes are now on the underside of the hull?
Yes.
It's just sucking up mud.
Never, ever, nothing bad could ever happen from driving this thing over muddy terrain.
Well, there's also an air intake inside the crew compartment as well.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay.
Panic was averted.
Yes.
So, Clint, just to clarify, what year are we up to here?
Between 1943 and 45.
Okay, and we've gone through how many variants so
This
far?
is the fourth one.
Excellent. So just to compare and contrast, the M3 had 2 variants up until this point, and both of them focused on an improved machine gun wing.
Your point.
Just for those of us keeping score.
Oh, that's just getting your priorities straight,
Oh yeah, I
Not
mean,
for
if
games.
the machine gunner's got to have a clear field of vision.
America's gonna America.
Damn straight we are.
Who cares if the thing keeps overheating? Hell, we need to put out a 50 cal in the damn thing.
Shoot the bastard.
150 cal. Why have 1 when you can have 4?
Exactly. Turn into a damn gun truck.
What about 6?
Little foreshadowing to Vietnam.
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah. What is that?
Ezra.
Who's shredding paper?
I'd blame him, but he's not.
That was me. Sorry, I forgot to
That,
mute.
he was possessed by the ghost of Ezra.
I'm gonna leave that bit in as well. Fuck it.
For those of you who are wondering, Ezra is currently puking his guts out.
No,
was
actually,
faking
he
it
isn't.
So we could go.
He's making love with his boyfriend. That's what he said.
Must be nice.
Think he's wearing
Yeah.
a furry suit right now too?
Probably.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Actually, by this time, he's probably taken it off. At least half of it.
Oh, he doesn't have a quick access flap in it?
Well, the
No,
problem
he's
is that he doesn't
he's
have,
cleaning it out.
Oh,
He doesn't
God.
have a ventilation system in it, so I mean, it gets pretty warm in there.
Yeah, the air intake is in the bottom.
No.
So you're saying he's like a turtle?
Oh
Pretty
God.
much.
Oh no!
Pretty
I don't
much.
want to imagine that.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know, a turtle can also breathe out of its ass. Yes.
It's like in
Man, why
Breaking
can't
Bad
we
with the
do that?
severed head on the turtle.
So, hold on. What?
Yeah,
What?
Dawn, you didn't know this?
Don, didn't you ever go to the Toronto Zoo when you were growing up?
What?
Turtles also have long dicks, so.
Oh, don't remind me of that video.
That's the most marine shit I've ever heard.
Look, you know the video I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. That was circling the internet a few years ago.
They showed us that in high school.
They what?
My economics teacher pulled it up in high school.
Texas education be like.
Yeah, pretty much. You want to learn how to do your taxes? Here's a turtle dick.
That sounds more like fuck evolution, but this is what it did.
They didn't teach you how to do taxes in school?
Fuck no, they didn't.
What the hell has happened to our public school systems? Like, you guys can't write cursive? You.
That
Yeah, but
could
we
be a
can
whole
code.
episode in and of itself.
Yeah, so we'll have you on
MMP.
for that episode too.
MMP education episode.
Screw it. The MMP is going to be in charge of all of the public schools in the Horizon Islands.
That's a bad idea.
No, it's not. They're going to learn the different types of panzers and how easy it was to destroy them.
Yeah, but Ezra's going to be a teacher.
Oh god.
No, he's not. He's going to be the example.
So the Ausführung D.
Alright, yeah, let's go to the next slide.
How did we get here?
Do what?
How did we get here?
The same way we always do.
I'm just saying, that's a pretty camo.
Oh, it is.
It looked really good with some
No.
throat blood hanging off the side.
Oh, a quick question for you. So on the front fenders, you see those two little dingly bob things?
The
Hey,
hooks?
those are big.
Oh, no.
The clearance markers?
Ah, that's what they are.
Yeah, so
Wait, what are
if
they?
you hit them, your ass isn't gonna fit through that.
Huh. Isn't that smart? I gotta be honest, that is the smartest part of this vehicle I've seen yet.
Alright, go to the next slide. Alright,
Ooh, look at that.
first seen in combat. The 251 was seen as a real improvement for infantry mobility and added infantry to the armored blitz tactic. It was also a well-known propaganda tool in the newsreels, which led most of the Germans into thinking that the bulk of the German infantry was carried by these armored vehicles. But the reality could be not farther from the truth.
Those poor bastards.
Due to its cost and slow production, these vehicles were only allocated to some platoons, almost specialized elites within the infantry, and only attached to the best equipped panzer divisions. By September 1939, only the 1st Panzer Division was partially equipped with the 251. By the start of the Western Campaign in May of 1940, perhaps 5 Panzer Divisions were also partially equipped. Well used, this vehicle never encountered bad situations, which could have been fatal due to its lack of armor. Alright, next slide.
That'd be fun to just ride around in that.
So basically, if all the elite guys got to ride around in them in the Blitzkrieg, everyone else just had to do with running around hopped up on meth
Yeah, a lot of motorcycles. It's like the
and horses.
Blitzkrieg was, motorcycles and horses.
Lots of horses.
Meth and
Motorcycles,
motorcycles.
horses, and bicycles.
Bro, America took the recruiting tactic that the Germans did. Hey, come ride in our 251s. Hey, come ride in our Humvees. Where shit currently happen.
This
Fucking
lack
knee
of armor,
problems.
however, was a limitation later on with the use of some close support versions. Like the /10 here, equipped with the short-range PaK-36 37mm anti-tank gun. Fortunately, most of these versions developed were seen as rearguard support vehicles. Alright, good.
Look at that bent-up fender.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Didn't,
there's a sheet metal.
weren't
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
these
true.
ones used as like command variants as well with the 30?
Yeah, yeah, they
Oh
were.
yeah, there was 23 versions, I believe. I got it wrote down here somewhere. And that's only like actual produced versions. There was many different field modifications, but we'll get into that here in a bit too.
That's why the Germans lost the war. They were so damn bent up on making paper panzers and redesigning this thing.
Yes, probably the 251 is probably the vehicle that's seen the most different variants throughout the war. The 251 also saw action in North Africa in limited numbers, as only 2 panzer divisions were involved. There was no real tropicalized version, only late modifications in the field. The rear compartment could turn incredibly hot in the sun of this region,
Imagine
I
the shock.
bet.
It's like a convection oven.
and the engine
gotta
engines were
fucking-
all open to increase air cooling while on the move. The bulk of the A, B, and C saw action in the Balkans, Greece, and in Russia by summer of 1941. By then, most panzer divisions were equipped with the vehicle, at least partially. Less than 1,000 were available at the same time for Operation Barbarossa, Production later increased, but at the same time, more and more were converted for support and special purpose vehicles. In Russia, the local situation dictated many conversions for the engineers attached to the panzer divisions.
Bro, imagine you're gonna go assault the fucking British desert position in Africa. You got your boys in the back, you're driving around. You're like 100 meters from their fucking release point. You look back, all your guys have heat stroked.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they
like,
did all for a
fuck.
nice canvas cover to put over the top. That would keep the heat out, right?
Oh, totally.
Oh
Totally.
yeah.
See, Greg, all you'd see then is just the medic running with the silver bullet with a big grin on his face.
Yeah. Seen that in film too.
What the heck?
Oh my god, that is sick.
Yeah.
That would be hot. Holy shit.
I need to
French
make that.
tank.
There was only 23 main versions were officially known, but there have probably been countless modifications in the field. Many photos showing vehicles using captured foreign guns and using non-conventional antennae or makeshift conversions as command and observation vehicles. This one here's got the French APX turret on it. I'm really not sure anything about this vehicle, but when I was doing research, this popped up and pretty funny looking.
Funny. That thing will kill you, Floki.
There's 3 guys in there.
Bro, they're having a wiener party. In that
I mean, that's an awful small turret to fit 3 people in. I mean, that's...
Yeah, usually those early French ones were one person only.
Germany started the war because they were compensating for something.
3 people in the twin bed. Wait, my question is: so did these guys just did they put the turret ring on here as well, or is this thing just sort of sitting there? Like how
That's
far
a
did they
good
commit
point.
to this?
I don't know. Like I said, I really couldn't find much information on this, but it looks like they either took a steel plate over the top of the crew compartment and somehow plopped this gun into the middle of it.
That plate that they put on looks like the thickest metal in the whole vehicle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Probably
It
is.
looks like it's sagging under the weight at the center.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it was any
Oh,
thinner,
yeah.
it would just cave right into the crew compartment.
Is that catching air?
Yes,
Oh my
it is.
god.
Oh my, bro, no.
It's the rally hand mag.
Oh my god.
WRC.
Well, little known. I mean, the Germans didn't win the open rally competition in Russia in 1942. In Russia, the winter conditions meant that the engine could not always perform well. Imagine that.
Shit.
Or
Oh,
even
that looks
start
like
at
it's
all.
performing just fine.
And all the rubber parts had a tendency to crack and fall apart, which is every track pad. The mobility.
That's why I never see bitches with face lifts and boob lifts in fucking cold weather.
The mobility was generally excellent, but the thick, sticky mud of the spring and summer rains clogged into the interlayered wheels and then solidified.
Really?
Yeah.
Gee, where have we heard this problem?
Bro, I think the Russians are having this problem.
Oh, yeah. Hey, don't learn from your enemy's mistakes.
Shit.
By the time of the
No,
introduction,
just learn from your own.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, not even that. Hell, those
Many times over and over again.
By the time of the introduction of the simplified D, the production numbers rose again, but this vehicle was still in short supply for the Panzer Grenadiers as more and more were diverted for fire support and anti-aircraft defense.
I like that this is the simple version, but it's got the suspension on the Tiger.
So at about this point, it's starting to be seen less as just a frontline APC, you could say, and it's starting to be transitioned towards more like specialized roles.
Yeah, it's
So it's basically what the M113 is now.
starting to take up more of your rear guard positions and command and
Boring.
yeah. All right, now let's get into
Are you
the
gonna be
walk
so-
around of the D variant. 2 distinctive features for the majority of the D was the straight fenders and rear view mirror that was mounted only on the left width indicator. Early production had a position light mounted on the left and right fenders between the no-tick blackout light, as pictured in the picture on the left. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Wow, Dennis.
Too eager there.
the later production omitted this, as we can see on the right picture. The front armor plate was 14.5 millimeters thick, and the circular fairing covered the starting crank port. This was also deleted on late models, as you can see the one on the right is missing the port. or the cover for the port.
Yeah, I almost just had a stroke because I thought there was a happy face on the SS one on the left.
Oh, it is happy. Made it to the SS.
Oh god.
Next slide.
Is that cast texture?
Why, yes, it is.
God damn.
Shit.
Did they cast a flat plate?
Well, it's no, I guess not cast texture. It's rolled texture.
Oh, okay.
The towing
It's
hooks.
Tamiya putty.
Yeah, Uncle Nightshift got a hold of this. The towing hooks located on both the left and right side were each secured to the lower hull by 3 bolts. This was introduced on the C after removing the bumpers. Next photo. Almost every Wehrmacht vehicle had either a no-tech blackout light. This light was built in large quantities by the Nova Technik factory in Munich. The driver could regulate the intensity of this light. It had a 40-meter length by 25-millimeter width visibility range. The 251 all the way up to the D had a no-tech light. The late production D switched over to the Bosch light, which is on the right.
The Bosch light looks better.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
All right. The D had only one muffler on the left side. The muffler fit into the lower plate that connected the front fender to the track fender. The exhaust outlet was placed on the upper part of the drum-shaped muffler and gave the D a 50-centimeter forging depth.
Damn, that crew's getting bitches.
Oh, I just recognized that.
Well, I mean, you would too if you
Drove one
up
of these
in a 251.
things.
Rolling up to the fucking Eastern Front.
Yeah.
You get fucking Gretel coming out of her fucking wooden hut. Never seen a man in her life besides her father. Sees all of them boys.
Yeah, they all got that spiffy Hitler Youth haircut going on.
Mm.
Hans is gonna get
Standard
some,
issue.
yeah.
Clint, hold up. Did you just say this thing can only afford 50 centimeters?
Exactly.
What?
I've walked through puddles deeper.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, 50 centimeters is like 1.66 of our rulers here. What the hell? That's
Yes,
nothing.
standard yellow ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Now there was
like a-
modifications to attach a snorkel to these, but that was way later in the war.
I swear to God, Tamiya had a handle in the creation of these goddamn things in real life because they're like, oh, here's a base kit and here's all the modifications you can get afterwards to make it, better.
After your 20th kill, you can unlock a Pack 40 to put on this.
Oh, do run overs count too?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is a dragon ass looking tank.
All right, let's see, where am I here? All right, 2 armored doors gave access to the Maybach HL42 engine. The late D had these doors replaced with one large door that opened rearward instead of side to side.
Are the tracks off?
Now the tracks are on there. That's just carrying extra
It's a
tracks to the
shadow.
side.
It's extra armor jack.
Oh, yeah.
Germans were more,
I was just
human
looking
life.
down there. In the back, you can see the back wheels there, but no front track.
Yeah, you can see the track there right behind the wheel.
Open
Okay,
your eyes,
yeah, at the
Jack.
back
Wake
there.
up. Wake up. Wake up.
Juice bed putting me to sleep.
Let's go to the next picture. All right, here we
Let's
can
go
see a
down.
few things. Let's start with the retractable armor plate for the driver and commander radio position. Both are identical and can be closed during combat. The crew carried extra armored glass that could be swapped out if damaged. Second from this photo is the visor slit for the driver. The C, this was a retractable armor plate, but was replaced with just a slit to help speed up production. Third is the 3 stowage bins built into the lower sides of the vehicle. These had a hinge located at the base of the bin, and the door opened downward. And each bin was secured with a lock attached to a chain, probably to deter any Russian civilians from easily stealing your possessions after they just clapped you.
Or, dudes from the other unit.
Or, yeah, that
Yeah. Is that a Fallschirmjäger right there?
too. At least 2 of them were wearing Fallschirmjäger helmets.
There's a bullet hole in the side.
And smocks from the looks of
Yeah.
it.
Did
Yeah.
Fallschirmjägers use these?
The Luftwaffe had some of their own versions. I'm not sure if the Fallschirmjägers had them or not.
Of course, the goddamn Air Force had fucking armored vehicles.
You know, the Fallschirmjägers probably had them. It was a little bit specialized.
It was a little bit specialized.
Mm.
Thanks,
There's a
Jack,
bullet
didn't know
hole in the
that.
side there.
Good.
Yeah.
Hope the driver died.
Too far back for that. Next photo. And this here looks like it could be the same vehicle.
Oh my god. That's a hell of a drop. Why did they park there? Jump out, Hans. Break your ankle. Get out of the front lines.
Look, if that thing rolls back because he left in neutral, that's going to go into a puddle, and I'm guaranteeing that's steeper than 50 centimeters.
It's there to this day.
It's become a lake.
Your injury is not service related.
Shit.
The biggest change seen on the D is the rear doors. Again, to simplify production without losing armor protection, the rear end was redesigned to be a flat-angled armor plate with 2 doors. Also seen in this photo is the center-mounted towing fixture. The 251 could tow trailers or guns up to a weight of 2.7 tons. Harder to see in this picture is the air pressure coupling next to the mounting fixture, and this provided air to the brakes of what trailer they was towing. Right, the track suspension consisted of 12 interlevered pressed steel wheels with solid rubber tires, 6 rails per side. To the front was the drive sprocket and the idler at the rear. And that was the idler was used to tension the tracks. Engine torque was transmitted to the Mercano PF220K dry twin plate clutch to the mechanical transmission that was relocated behind the differential. This brake differential drive unit was based on a design developed by the Cleveland Tractor Company in Cleveland, Ohio.
God damn it.
Next photo.
Oh god,
Oh,
look at all those grease points.
and I'm just wondering if each track had 2, if there was one on each side.
No.
Oh god, imagine. Imagine trying to get in the other side.
I think you'd have to just unpin the tracks at that point and just roll them all
Yeah. That
No,
would
the
be
Germans
easiest.
probably had some special angled grease gun.
Oh, yeah. The tracks were composed of ribbed steel castings that had holes drilled in them for lightness. The inside of the track had a drive tooth, and most 251s had hard rubber pads on the outside of the tracks. A temporary shortage of synthetic rubber caused steel caps to be used briefly in the summer of '44. These steel caps though reduced the top speed to only 30 kilometers an hour since high speeds would damage the suspension.
Get fucked.
Next photo. And the instrument panel here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Next,
Is that your hand?
no, oh shit, I wish.
We've got Clint's hands.
I
Jack's
fucking
screenshot.
wish I was able to drive one of these. The first 2 levers located right next to the steering wheel. The one on the left controls the radiator, and the one on the right controls the flaps for the radiator, allowing more air in and out. The 2 buttons under the levers. The left is the main switch, and the right is just the horn. Third is the
Honk that bitch.
tachometer that has a range of 380 RPMs up to 3,500 RPMs.
Oh, the Iltis doesn't even have a tachometer. The fuck? I got scammed.
It's tachometry by sound.
Exactly.
If you see smoke coming from the engine, you should probably let off the gas. But
Yes, good time to shift.
I mean, fair surprise, doesn't have a tachometer.
Oh, shut up.
Then the next cluster of gauges here, we have the master stop switch, which is the little button right underneath the tachometer there. And then we have the oil PSI, which is the top gauge to the left. The right is the water temperature, and the bottom is the air pressure for the brakes. And the last switch is for the instrument panel lights.
Bro, you went way into this. I love it.
I thought I was supposed to.
No, you did good
Have you
shit.
listened to our episodes?
The problem is you're setting a standard.
Yeah.
God damn it,
Sorry.
Clint.
Now
Wait,
we'll have to have you on every episode.
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
no,
we had
the
a
horror.
standard.
We had a standard.
I didn't say it was high.
This podcast doesn't have a single standard. I don't know what you're talking about.
We live to lower the bar.
Yeah.
I had low expectations, but I'm still disappointed here. One thing that is missing on the D is the speedometer, which was another cost savings omitting because, the German army wasn't concerned about speed limits in occupied territories, apparently.
Fuck
alright,
no, they're gonna blitzkrieg that bitch.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, the idea that this thing would ever go fast enough to warrant the use of a speedometer is kind of hilarious.
It's fine. The Iltis's speedometer is broken too.
Well, at least you have a speedometer.
I've got the area for one.
Just replace it with a chalkboard or a dry erase board, and then just put down how fast you think you're going.
Exactly.
If you get pulled over, be like, "See, officer, I was only going 25." So.
I was keeping track.
All right. Okay, in this picture, we can see where the med kit was located, along with how the radio was mounted in this version.
And did all of them have radios?
Not all of them did.
Okay.
In the beginning, they tried to, and then later on, as the war, drug on, it's like, not everyone needs a radio,
The RAF made that decision.
or at least
for
not
us.
everyone needs a transmitter.
Actually, what they did was they put it on the backs of some 17-year-old. So, fuck that guy.
And that U-shaped pipe that you can see underneath the instrument panel there, that is the air intake for the engine.
Oh my god.
You're not feeding the engine with a lot of air, exactly, are you?
Well, you also got two, underneath the
Yeah,
armor
fair
plating.
enough.
Look at those comfy seats.
Oh yeah.
That looks like back pain, but if you made it into a piece of furniture.
Scoliosis.
All right, and we're just gonna touch on the different variants here really quick.
Yay, an M3.
I was going to say, look, it's the good half track.
Oh yeah, too bad there's that M3 in the background with it though.
Oh,
He got you on that one.
they did.
This is of course the one, which was the standard troop carrier. Next picture. This was the two. The I'm gonna screw this up. Granta Ruffer.
The Stuka.
The Stuka.
This
yeah,
was
the
the-
land Stuka.
Stuka Zufus.
This was the standard motorized mortar version used by the infantry. It carried apparently 66 rounds of this altogether. I'm not sure if that
Jesus.
included a trailer that they towed behind or not.
Maybe for an
Wasn't
entire
those
company.
all wooden?
Yeah, they are wooden.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and you'd only need one decent 7.62 shot.
Line that bitch up.
And on to
Fun
the next
fact,
one.
this was actually the first model I ever had. It was a little Corgi diecast from 1954.
Oh,
That's what it
man.
was. Yeah. And it was cool because you could actually put these little red rockets into the launching brackets. You press the little button on it and they would shoot off.
Oh shit, they actually launched?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
This was the Funk Panzerwagen, which is the main radio version. It was subdivided into 5 different versions, which was just different radio configurations. Let's move to the 4.
Wait, so what was that big old canopy thing up top?
Talking about with the bed frame antenna. If you want to go back a slide.
Yeah. I've never understood those.
It's an antenna. I'm not exactly sure how that worked better than, say, a regular aerial mast, but apparently it did.
Well, maybe
Fucking
one of the
Germans.
ideas, I don't know if this is true or not, is it possible that one of the ideas was that you could use it almost as a sort of frame, and you could put a canvas cloth on top if you were just planning on having the guys
The high
sitting
top.
in one
Yeah.
one place?
I don't think it is, because if you look at a lot of sort of early and slightly pre-war armored vehicles, they'll often have a frame antenna running around. A lot of the German armored cars did, and some of the Japanese tanks did as well.
So the
I think it just has some.
BT-7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't speak Sparky, but I think this just has something to do with antenna shapes and what have you.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's designed to give as much antenna surface area around it without having to go too high for range.
That would make
That
sense.
would make
yeah.
better sense.
Yeah.
And plus,
I
it'd
wonder
be
if
cool
you
to
could
model one of
throw.
these.
I wonder if you could throw like a blanket over the top of it.
That's
with, like,
literally what I'm
some tree
saying.
limbs.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what
Perfect
Dennis
for it.
said.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I'm sure it's an added benefit.
Yeah, be good overhead coverage.
The 4 was the Schonzen Panzerwagen. This version was just strengthened for towing heavy guns, such as the 50 millimeter Pack 38, the 75 millimeter Pack 40, and the 10.4 centimeter light field howitzer. On to the next one. All right, the 5 was the first of the Pioneer versions. The main assault engineer vehicle, modified to carry a pair of light dismantleable assault bridges on top, and inflatable
awesome.
boats. These first versions, these ramps were made completely out of wood.
Oh my god.
So
I say we get these for HIDF. They got boats.
are the boats basically like rolled up and put into these storage containers on the side?
From what I could tell from my research, that's what it said. They was carried in the side
Okay.
storage boxes.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Go out canoeing with the boys.
It'd be a pain in the ass if you went to like, right, let's get the boats out, and there's bullet holes in this.
The 6 was the Command Panzerwagen. It was a
Oh,
early
it's
command
not
and
being
radio
hung.
vehicle, which was modified to house map boards and ciphering and coding machines.
That is cool.
That would be so cool to build.
Oh yeah, I built. Crap! I can't remember which one it is now. It was one of the command versions that had the. It doesn't have a bed frame mast. It has the extendable star antenna.
Please send pictures.
Oh, I will.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll
send some.
post them in the Discord here in a bit.
Thanks, Poppy.
All right, and this is the 7, which was the main of the Pioneer assault. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied here. This is the 7, which is another engineer assault vehicle, fitted with bridge ramps, and these were made of metal with only the top part being made out of wood, so they could, hold more weight on them. They also carried special compartments to house mines and anti mine equipment, like mine detector equipment. Yeah.
Please tell me that the mines were
Anti-inflammatory
armored.
medicine.
Like the boxes where they were in were armored, right? They wouldn't put them in an unarmored box.
Do what?
The mines, they wouldn't put them in an unarmored storage box, would they?
Oh no, they
not?
was lightly armored storage boxes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the SdK version didn't have any armor at all for the high explosives strapped to the sides. Why break the habit of a lifetime?
The Greyhound just had anti-tank mines stuck to the side of it too.
Yes, it did.
And this is the 8, which was the Klonken Panzerwagen, or the
Bro, it's bigger
ambulance.
than my RV camper.
The armored ambulance version could carry 4 injured personnel on stretchers, 2 lying and 4 seated, or 10 lightly wounded sitting soldiers. To help access, a folding step beneath the doors was also added. Most were converted from early A, B, and C versions during the war. There was no armament, and a large canvas roof was used to cover the top. The 2 sub-versions were equipped with a FUG-5 long radio and attached to mobile HQs. And also to note, this thing, like, up by the driver's compartment, that is a canteen, or a water storage bin. I know all the
Like a
Tamiya
Gatorade.
kits, they have that.
It's a
Yeah,
keg.
It's a keg.
It's a keg.
It's a water keg. That's what it is. But all the Tamiya kits put that in there, even though only the ambulance had it. All right, this is the 9 with the 7.5 centimeter KWK-37, which is the same gun as our favorite Stug 3.
And then Ezra rejoined the podcast.
Didn't they call this like the Stummel or something?
Yeah, the Stummel.
Yeah.
That's cute.
It was the standard SPG variant, also called the Kanonwagen, was equipped with a short barrel 75mm howitzer, which used the same mounting as the Stug 3. It was nicknamed the Stummel, and committed in great numbers on the Eastern Front. First ordered in March of 1942, Bolsing Nog delivered 2 prototypes in June, tested in Russia. A first batch of 150 vehicles were delivered during the following months. Based on the C, by late 1944, a major modification, including a revised modular higher gun mount with a coaxial MG42 for close defense. This allowed better protection and better movement of the gun, which could now transverse 20 degrees on each side.
That's actually not bad.
The gun had a provision of 52 rounds, but many were carried wherever it was possible to fit more. Notably in the rifle racks and cramped into extra soft bags. Yeah, I think that's about all I had for this one. And this is the 10, which was the 3.7 centimeter pack. This is the standard early anti-tank support version for the Panzer Grenadiers, equipped with the 37mm Pak 36 gun, which had an effective range of only about 1,200 meters. Many photos show that they removed the upper panels of the shield, as the crew was already pretty well protected inside the hull, and in order to fool observers thinking this was just a regular MG version of the troop transport. And this is the 11. I'm gonna screw this name up. Fern Spurch Panzerwagen. It was a telephone cable layer version based on the C. A large box laying apparatus with cable wheels was housed in the rear compartment with little room to spare for the operators. They were used to create a network in occupied territories of Russia. Alright.
Ooh, that's a good picture.
Wow, look at this.
Now, the artillery observation variants. That was the 12, the 13, the 14, the 15, and the 18. I could only find pictures of the 18. The 12, it was a visual survey vehicle. The 13 and 14, they was sound recording carrier variants. The 15 was flash spotting carrier variants. And the 18 here was an artillery independent observation variant, which comprised 3 radio subversions of this. You could see they added extra armor to the sides. And they also had this platform built here, when you can see some scissor.
It looks like they're playing the world's most dangerous game of peekaboo.
It kind of is.
Oh God!
Oh,
Holy, that's a good
That
photo.
would be that would be a good diorama.
I built one of these, and I've never put it into a diorama. It's still packed up in my completed builds that I haven't done anything else with.
Oh, Floki, do it!
This is the 16, or the Flampanzerwagen. It was
The Flampanzerwagen.
It was the main flamethrower variant, mostly used by the SS, which comprised at first a rear detachable flamethrower, then the 2 14mm flame projectors attached to the vehicle on pivots.
I need Tamiya to make a
God damn
running
it.
civilian set.
3D printing.
See, this
I'm
is
sorry, I can't help it.
see, that's what I'm planning on doing with my M113. So
Oh shit.
Shit.
MMP war crimes.
Floki, once you said this was given to the SS,
We knew where it was headed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, the hull retaining the 4 defense machine gun, the flamethrowers were protected by small masks, and the range was approximately 35 meters. Depending on the wind and climate conditions, they were fed by 2 700-liter internal tanks placed on the rear. So, one shot in this thing, and, well...
Oh God, it's going up
I
like a
really
fucking
don't
Christmas tree.
35 meters is a decent amount.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look at
That
that. That's,
Yeah.
Well, it's a
My
decent
God.
Roll
amount
up
for a,
Ivan's shrimp.
it's a decent amount for a flamethrower, but that's right in the perfect range of a DP-23.
Or a
yeah.
Panzerfaust.
Or just Ivan with a
What?
sticky grenade.
Yeah, just anything, pretty much. It's just sheet metal and a big fuel tank.
Yeah, 700 liters. I'm not sure how many gallons that is off the top of my head.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a shit ton.
Yeah, it's 8 millimeters of sheet metal and 700 liters of fuel.
Oh yes, this is safe to take into combat. Imagine being the driver, because if that thing goes up, you are fucked. Like,
No, everybody is.
I mean, everyone is, but theoretically, he's the one that's like really confined.
Like crammed in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that poor
Yeah.
bastard.
No, he's got a keg beside him. He's fine.
Well, only if he's in the Tamiya version.
This is also the perfect vehicle for when you're on the Eastern Front in the middle of winter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
dude, you're right.
Except for the fact that you have to be exposed to all the weather up there.
Nah, bro, roll up to a babushka's house, light that bitch up, and you got a fire for like 5 hours.
Lighting babushka's candles.
Now, according to my research, they was given flame retardant suits, but looking at them, it doesn't look like they're wearing them.
Bro, that guy's sitting there like, Hans, look at this.
Let me try to
That's
light
what
my
I can do.
cigarette.
And I
Hold
mean,
my beer.
considering their flame-proof would have just been a suit of asbestos, it would have killed them either way.
Oh, yeah. They're going to die one
Oh.
way or another.
Is that a second turret on the side?
Oh, yeah, there
On
was
the left?
one
Yeah,
on each
there's
side.
2.
Oh my god.
And some of it even had one that attached to the rear plate that they could take off and use as a standard man flamethrower.
Oh my god.
Who thought
We
this was a
can't-
good idea?
The Germans.
Yeah. I mean, if the Germans was ever, going to invade the Pacific, I mean, this would be perfect.
Shit.
Let's see, but however, the required kind of petrol turned to be in short supply, so these wasn't actually
God
used
damn
very
it, of
much.
course it was.
The crew was protected by fireproof overalls, which, these guys aren't wearing.
Asbestos.
Uh,
The asbestos trousers.
as they had the ability to perform about 2,700 short bursts of 2 seconds each. So, yeah, that 700 liters would get you a lot of bang for your buck, I guess.
Oh my
That's a-
god.
Decent amount of civilians. Yeah.
Well, just not civilians, but, also, unarmed POWs.
What? No. You mean those weapons next to the burned fucking earth and corpses are like
Huh.
not burned?
Eh,
What do you mean they're placed there after?
oh, they must have some sort of weird fireproofing on them.
Damn
They,
Russians.
they were also wearing asbestos.
Each Panzer Grenadier regiment was, on paper, to be supplied with 6 of these in each platoon.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
But of course, that didn't happen.
Thankfully, they would have burned up the whole fucking countryside.
That's fucking horrifying.
And
6 in each platoon.
there was also supposed to be 2 support vehicles in each platoon carrying an extra 1,850 gallons.
Oh my god.
You're swimming in it at that point.
You one good bomb and then it's all over.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just wiped out like the whole fucking 7th Army or something.
That's American doctrine.
Damn
One
straight.
good bomb.
Oh no.
They were mostly converted from C&D vehicles that was sent back to be re-engineered. And seemingly introduced in January of 43, they fought in Russia, Italy, and Holland.
So wait, why the hell are the Germans scorched earthing themselves?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Hitler did a lot of stupid
Fascism is a
things.
hell of a drug.
They're a depressed bunch of guys who like to self-harm themselves. Sounds familiar.
I mean, Russia
They're
was
just
doing
very
the same
cold.
thing, so maybe they was just imitating them.
They're just adding to the nothingness.
They're adding to the fire.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the 20, there was also the 19, which I cannot find a picture of.
USA. 5.
It was a telephone exchange vehicle used alongside the 11. Alright, and this is the 20, which is the Infro... Oh crap! Infra. Oh. Okay, this is just a big infrared emitter. Okay.
Does that say it has 2 kills on the front?
No, that's probably something about the.
2 bombs.
Testing their fucking chalk.
Yeah, they're testing their chalk. Imagine getting 2 kills with an infrared emitter.
No, these was also equipped with machine guns that also had the infrared scopes.
Oh.
Looks like it's been taken off of this, but that's what the picture in the left-hand corner. That's one of the MGs with the scopes. Well, the scope
Oh,
the
so
MG's
it's
gone.
just under the emitter. Huh.
Oh, it's like the vampire
Yep.
scope.
These appeared in 1944. This version was attached to the Special Night Attack Panzer regiments, equipped with infrared panzers. Or Panthers, sorry. These infrared searchlights, this version carried a 60 centimeter, 1500 meter range infrared searchlight for illuminating targets well beyond the range of the Panther's infrared equipment. They were also deployed alongside Vampire Night Assault troops equipped with portable infrared equipment. And this was the 21, or the drilling. It was about 242 built of these with a triple Mauser MG 151 15mm turret, later replaced by the 20mm MG 151. The drilling prototype was tested in early 1944 on the C variant, but production only occurred on the D. The triple mount was belt fed. The inner gun received 400 rounds, the outer 250. The mount itself was derived from the naval type, and it was literally just the naval gun bolted to the floor.
Oh God.
These guns are surplus of the Luftwaffe, now using heavier models, complete with their standard aircraft cradles and joined together to the top bracket of the pedestal pivoting for a maximum elevation and traverse that they could get out of it.
Yeah, the Germans love just slapping naval guns on shit.
Hey, if it works.
Yeah, gun's a gun.
I mean, when you don't have a navy to put anything on.
Well, you do. It's just, ground beached itself up at a fjord in Norway somewhere.
Hans, where's the navy?
You do that too well.
Anyways, continue. We're not going to talk about that. I'm not a German.
All right, and this is the Pack 40.
Hey, you made that.
Yes, I did.
Hey.
Oh,
Foreshadowing.
and literally, they just took the Pack 40 and took some.
Slap that bitch.
Yeah,
on.
just slapped that thing in there, made a rudimentary mount out of some, angle iron, and boom, it was good to go.
I want to see this in Ukraine.
Oh, it's probably there.
There are at least 2.
Yeah, I mean, if the Russians captured any, they'd probably be pulling them out of storage any time now.
Shit, you're right.
And this was the 23, which...
Is that the 222 turret?
Yes, it is. It's the...
Oh my God.
Greg, you could make this.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
The 222 version is the 23. Should be the 22nd.
What?
I'm so confused.
My brain
Don't go
doesn't
into
like the
math.
numbers.
Please.
Okay, go on.
Onward.
Anyway, yeah, this was the 20mm autocannon variant that they just slapped into the normal troop carrying version. And the last thing I got, this was the didn't have a technical nomenclature name. It was
Wood
just a wood
fuel.
field for driver training.
So, what's the barrel on the front?
That's just part of
it's
how they could burn the wood and convert it into energy somehow, I guess.
It's utterly insane.
Yeah, they used a when you burn wood in a certain way with certain materials, you produce a gas which is flammable, which can be used in a rudimentary way, same as, say, converting a car to accept LPG.
Oh yeah, didn't they do a lot of wood fuel conversions during the war when fuel was short, and then
Yeah, the
they
British
had
did a
them
lot.
converted back?
They had
Yeah,
convertible cars.
Bro, they sent them to war. The guys who made that, they sent to war so they die, and their fuel economy,
No, those
specific
things were
vehicles.
explosive as hell.
Shit. If someone made this again, he'd get clapped by the CIA or something.
And that's all I got for you guys.
But I've got one.
Yay!
Oh,
I've got one.
Oh, look at
intercepted.
So this is the OT 810. These were basically 251s that were made by the Czech after the war.
Oh, God.
So a lot of them were built and used by the Czech army, and then a lot of them were captured or just left over. So the Czech army after the war recognized that armored personnel carriers had an important part of warfare. War stocks of the 251 was already being used by the Czechoslovak People's Army as the HKL-6 in the late 1940s. The production of the OT-810 as an improved version started in 1958 and ended in 62. In this short time, 1,500 vehicles were built, replaced the BTR-152 used by the motorized rifle companies. In addition, there were countless HKL-6s, which were converted into the status of the OT-810. So they were mainly used as a group vehicle until 1966, and then after that they had the successor of the OT-62 and OT-64. However, the OT-810 was still being used as a traction device for the 82mm light gun. It was actually finally retired in 1980-ish.
Oh,
in the 80s.
wow.
Wow.
Holy.
Yeah, so these are still running around. So the OT-810 made a new start possible for the low-lying Czech armaments industry in particular. The vehicle was possibly the only half-track produced after the war, with the exception of the Chilean BMS-1 Alacran in 1983. The vehicle was based on the version D of the Wehrmacht model. The vehicle had some chassis with a box drive in the front and the front axle with tires for steering assistance. The power was transmitted by the chain. Changes to the German model consisted primarily in the introduction of an 8-cylinder diesel from Tantra, which replaced the German Maybach engine, which probably means it was a slightly less complicated, easier to maintain engine. So this increased the range from 320 kilometers to 600 kilometers.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a slightly better engine, eh? Now, for the first time, the armoured personnel carrier was closed all around and thus offered protection against chemical weapons fallout, and especially against weapons such as hand grenades, Molotov cocktails, and artillery fragments. The armour case was made of 8 to 12mm thick steel and was chamfered to provide more protection. The vehicle commander had a roof hatch on which a sling ring and with a machine gun was attached. Firing hatches were provided for firing weapons from the closed vehicle. A little bit of trivia: in the films about the Second World War, the SdKf 251 was difficult to obtain as a prop after 1945. Wonder why? So they were mostly represented by the M3 half-track. In some cases, such as Stalingrad, Der Undertag, and oh my god, Die Brücke von Reigermann, whatever, don't care. OT-810 vehicles could be procured for the role. They can be recognized by the closed roof. So basically, the main way you can tell a 251 from OT-810 is by the roof. OT-810s have a closed roof.
Well, shit, there you go.
And they have dry tracks. Thank God. I think they have dry tracks at least. I
Well,
really hope
the
they're
photo
dry.
here has got
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, those are you're good.
But looking at this compared to the 251D, it's like, how could this be newer but looks like they went backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the ones that say to me,
Models.
avoid them. Go with the Dragon kits and the AFE club.
Yes.
I really want that drilling one. I think there's 2 slides because there's a lot of people who make the 251
Oh yeah, there you
in
go.
different variants.
And see, is it Das Rook that's coming out with a new one with Dragon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just literally the Dragon kit with new box arts. So I mean, it's pretty redundant.
No, it's supposed to have some 3D printing stuff in it too. I thought.
Is it?
Thought I remember seeing that. I'll have to look at
Now
the
I have
review
to go
again.
and look at our old episodes to see. You might be right.
That Dragon OSD with a 2 centimeter gun. That's a nice looking kit.
Oh, I want that one.
I'll send you pictures of the spruce.
Oh.
It's the first one I'm working on when I get my house. It's my Battle of the Bulge Group build.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the one you're doing, really?
Mhm.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's waiting to be ripped into. It's like a bride on wedding night.
Oh God.
When she has a headache.
Yeah. A 2-week headache.
And that was the SdKfz 251. Thank you so much for talking about that with us, Clint.
Hey, no problem. Glad you guys had me on. I really enjoyed this.
All right. Well, after a short intermission, we will get right into the hobby news and then our current works in progress.
This episode is brought to you by Autoloader Decals. Have you wandered round the shelves of your local hobby store and found that perfect model kit? Great tooling, fun to build, and look, you remember seeing the subject. Perhaps it was a truck in the ubiquitous white UN paint scheme in the newspaper, or maybe it was a Sherman tank from your local armour unit. Everything is lining up for a fantastic new project, one with a more interesting connection to yourself, instead of a project derived from a history book. Then you open the kit, and there are none of those specific markings to be found. Waterslide decals really put the final touch on a model, and unfortunately for the model maker, most kit manufacturers won't put too much time into designing decals that produce a finished model in anything but its most stereotypical form. That's why Autoloader Decals exists. It is their sincere hope that you'll be able to find as much enjoyment using these special water slides as they have. Autoloader decal products are primarily focused on Canadian subjects, but in general, if you're looking for markings that represent vehicles from lesser known parts of modern history, chances are you might just be able to find something worth trying. The waterslide decals are printed through an inkjet printer and sealed with a high quality varnish to ensure their strength on the model. Unlike most other water slides, these decals only need to be submerged for a few seconds and can be placed right onto the model. They are incredibly tough and won't yellow over time. For an added benefit, decals intended for 1:35 scale are treated with a special varnish that gives a subtle, painted-on look that's both in scale and more realistic than other brands' offerings. All the products currently in production are listed in the store page. If you have a custom design you would like to order, the best way of making this order is to send an email through the contact page. Generally, the cost of a custom order will be 40 to 50% higher than any products that are in stock to account for labour. Also, as a special deal, if you are ordering a set of custom decals and you mention the Micro Machines podcast, you'll receive a free exclusive MMP Pinju decal with your order. So next time you're looking to build a specific or unique vehicle, look towards Autoloader Decals. Just go to www.autoloadermodels.ca for all your waterslide decal needs. And now, back to the show.
Alrighty. So, for this week's hobby news.
So this one I'm excited about. This is from ICM in 48th, a B-26K counter invader. This is the earlier variant, and the reason I want this one desperately is because this is the variant that they used in the Congo War. A conflict not really talked about much. So the main differences of this one is the engine air inlets are slightly different. They had to modify them for the climate in Africa. They didn't. The engine inlets didn't really work that well, so they had to modify them. So that's the main difference. Also, because of the rules of engagement in the Congo War, they couldn't use unguided bombs, so they used rockets instead. So hence why you've got 4 pylons that could accept bombs. They can only use the Alta 2 for rockets, because you wouldn't want to fire rockets through the propeller. So this one comes in the the camo supplied is this really, really cool sort of dark mint green sort of color. Don't know how. Yeah, what would you guys describe that as?
Ivy.
British
Emerald.
racing
Yeah,
green.
Ivy.
Yeah, but it's this super cool green. It's a great looking aircraft, and finally, someone is representing one of the smaller conflicts like the Congo War, because a lot of stuff was used in those smaller things that have very cool camos and color schemes and markings and all of that. So this is going to be a really, really nice kit. I really want one.
HIDF Air Force.
Oh fuck yeah! This is
Quite
Yeah,
literally.
for sure.
I should have some walk around photos I took of this a couple years ago.
Ooh, I'm going to want
Send 'em.
those. This is from Huna. They have a bunch of 72nd armor. So I think these are all Italian subjects. You got
Yeah,
an
that-
artillery tractor, a 80mm anti-aircraft gun, a 210mm heavy gun, and a truck of some sort. I don't know how to pronounce it, but these are all resin kits as well in 72nd. So
Oh well.
Oh,
That
Tilly
parade is
tractor's
really
pretty
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
yeah, they do look cool.
Oh
Uh,
god.
Yeah.
1 to 24.
Yep.
What?
If Airfix are bringing out
They're
another
huge.
24th scale, this is a Mark 11C. Yeah, that's 11 or 9. 9. I failed. So they're bringing out a Mark 9C Spitfire in 24th scale. I really want to try a 24th scale. Maybe this one.
I
That'd be nice.
built the 5B years ago.
Same here, yeah.
It's an absolute monster.
It's a terrible kit.
Yes, and I didn't do it any favors.
I will say, like, if you do want to get this kit, be aware the CAD data shows stuff like the cockpit has very little detail. The seats have the seat belts molded on.
Oh,
It's everything you don't want it to be.
To my mind, it is almost as if they've taken some of the parts from the earlier mold that they have, and they've just slapped some new parts on it. I would be careful. You will need a photo etch for this because
Yeah, just get the
cockpit
Edward
is bad.
photo etch kit that'll drop.
Yeah. Either that or I want their Hellcat in 24th.
Mm.
The Hellcat's supposed to be really nice.
Yeah. I've seen someone do a build of that. What else? I hate to say it, but Revell
oh,
have released CAD renderings of their Hawker Hurricane Mark 2B in 32nd scale.
Yeah.
This looks pretty good, actually.
That does look good.
oh, too bad it's so big.
I'm holding judgment on this because knowing Revell, they'll manage to figure out a way to make it impossible to build.
Well, Dennis, if you buy it for me, I can tell you all about it.
Dude, I'll buy one for me and one for you.
Fucking bet. I got that on recording.
Dennis,
Callum, if you could edit that out.
Hey,
if you want it
It is nice to see a 1 to 32 scale Hurricane, though, a new one.
Oh yeah. I love the Hurricane.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm sure everyone knows about it. Tamiya.
Of
Everyone talks about when Tamiya is releasing something. So in their 48th scale armor, they have the M8 Scott, the howitzer mounted on a Stuart.
Love it.
I
Bro.
3D print so much spent ammunition for this. It'll be like a pile taller than the actual tank.
Why is everyone so wound up for this?
Because it's cool. Look at it. It's so cute.
I think
Hang on a second.
I think it's because it's Tamiya in 48th armor.
I do like their 48 line.
Go look
But
at podcast planning.
Look,
They took the same figure from the Hellcat and just shrunk it.
Hey, it works.
Oh my
You
god.
like the
They
Hellcat.
did. What the hell?
Those.
Damn Tamiya.
So this was shown at I think Telford.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm excited about it just because it'll be a thing for me to do 3D printing with again because I'll be able to 3D print all the shells, both the ones that are ready to be fired and the ones that are used. Because if you look at photos of these, either they've got a stack of shells waiting to get loaded in, or a stack of shells that have been fired out.
Do it.
It looks like they
I
kind
have
of
up
showed
to
that in the background.
300.
Either that or that's Deadfall.
Oh no, there were shells in the back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
Those
yeah,
look a
there's
little
some
small,
right
but-
behind, but almost like
They
farther
do
back.
look a little small. What the
Well,
fuck?
Maybe if they do this, then they'll do a 48 Stewart too.
I would
be
love
nice.
that. I'd buy that immediately.
Yeah, I'd be impressed
I
with that.
really need to make this switch from 35th to 48th, honestly.
It is much better on the shelf.
Yeah. Hey, yo.
Ooh.
Damn.
So Amusing Hobby is in 35th bringing out a 2-in-1 kit. So this is of the T-90A and a Uran 9, which is an unmanned ground combat vehicle.
I don't like that box art.
Yeah, the box art's not that good.
They got
Two
him
of the
switched there.
crappiest vehicles made ever.
I want the T90.
Oh, see, I want the Iran.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want the Uran. That thing actually looks pretty cool.
Don will split it in half using Dennis's discount and call it good.
Sold.
You hear that, Dennis?
I'm being prostituted for my discount.
Yes, you are.
How good is Amusing Hobby new stuff?
I built their FV4005 and the tracks were amazing. I love the tracks. They're fantastic. Overall, their Centurions are really good, but the turret on the FV4005 was kind of bare. But yeah, on the whole, really good. Definitely worth it. And they make stuff which like no one else does, which is always nice.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Ooh.
There's another 2-in-1 from Armour Hobby. The Cactus Air Force set, which includes an F4F for Wildcat and a P400 or P39D Air Cobra. So it's a 2-in-1 deluxe set.
Arma Hobby stuff is fantastic.
I've
Really
And it
never
has
Is
heard of
it?
3D
that
printed it. It also has 3D printed accessories included.
Oh, okay. That's
I would get this.
that's pretty sick.
Yeah, if you guys haven't built Arma Hobby stuff yet, it is fantastic.
They got any tanks?
No,
God damn it.
before. Are they
Where
only
can-
172nd?
they only do 1/72.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn it.
Ooh, look at that.
This
That
one's
I
for
want.
Greg. This
Yes.
one's for Greg. Another ICM. This is a German mortar crew with the
Fuck yeah.
SGRW34 mortar with a crew for it. So 100% new molds. These are brand new.
Oh, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Good
How
to see
much
the
is it?
ICM still working.
How
No,
much is it?
not sure.
Fuck, I actually want that.
Oh, and I just realized there's a new release that I wanted to talk about, but I forgot about it. Oh well, we'll do it next time.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I've only got one thing this week, but Trumpeter is released, and this is going to be for January of 2023. Their Mi-8MT, or otherwise known as the HIP H, which is basically a sort of kind of half utility, half gunship that the VKS, I want to say, uses, formerly the Soviet Air Force. Yeah, but that's coming out in 48th. I believe it's based on their earlier HIP kit. But yeah, that's
If
what they're
Tamiya
doing.
could come out with some like 1/48 modern Russian figures, I would so buy this.
I don't think they would do that.
They
Yeah,
would never do that. You kidding me? It's fucking Tamiya.
Holly
Yeah.
Tamiya's too
Express.
smart for that.
Tamiya's too smart for that. Do you know what's going on in the world, Dennis?
Yes. That's why I'm saying they're too smart for that.
Okay, fair.
And now for our works in progress.
Whips.
So I'm going to start this one off. So I finally started finishing some builds.
Woo!
So the Academy 72nd FI-156 Stork is finally off my shelf and onto the, well, it's off one shelf and onto the finished shelf. So I did it in the North Africa scheme, and yeah.
It's good, buddy.
That
Sweet.
does.
Wait.
How was the build?
Nightmarish.
Wait,
Well,
this is 172nd?
yes.
Holy shit.
That looks way bigger.
Yeah, I thought that was
It does.
35th or 32.
They are big, like, they are deceptively big aircraft. So, like, it's bigger than most of the single engine aircraft I have.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
built
yeah.
I built the Tamiya 48 scale one a couple years ago, and it does have a pretty big wingspan on it. That's why I thought it was 48 scale.
Yeah, and they sit really high up as well. So, but yeah, finally got this bastard off my bench. So, and this is my World War One tadpole diorama.
Oh yeah.
So just been building up the trench and the base for it. So it's almost finished. This one's going to be a video. Same as the building of the tadpole once I finish. Well, once I have motivation to finish the video. Yep. So, and there's 2 builds I can finally talk about because I'm giving this to the person today, my mum.
Holy.
So this is a collaboration between my dad and I. My mum absolutely loves anything NASA, space, all of that. She loves it.
Good woman.
She has watched the Saturn V story 3 times now.
Wow.
Yes.
Dedication.
She loves it. So my dad and I, we decided, my dad bought, this is the Revell 1-144 kit. He buys it, I build it, and it's actually a pretty sweet kit. You can see like the top opens, so it's got the lunar lander in it, and it all disassembles and reassembles. The main issue I now have is transporting it from my house to their house in a decent condition. Yeah.
Leave early,
Good
drive
luck.
slow.
Oh yeah, I will be. I definitely
Tissue
will be.
paper.
You should record and get a reaction.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And then if
Dennis could supply you with a couple of Class D rocket motors.
I can actually, yes. I can't ship them because that's a felony.
yeah. And so this is one of 2 commissions for her. The other one, if you go to the next slide,
Ooh.
is
There you go.
is the lunar lander in 72nd scale. This is the Airfix kit, and it's apart from it being old as hell and the plastic sucks, it's a really good kit. They supply gold foil so you can foil it up, and that was a mission in of itself. You guys know about that one.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
It does look good.
Is the Airfix
So-
and the Dragon kit the same kit?
No, I don't think
no,
so.
Okay.
no, they are
No.
not.
Yeah, the plastic is very much vintage Airfix quality.
I got
Yeah,
you
it
one,
looks
dude.
amazing.
Yeah.
It
It
does,
does look
dude.
really good.
Well
Yes.
done, Callum. She'll love
She's
it.
gonna love it.
Yeah, she will. She definitely will.
Love the astronaut figures. You don't see that every day.
They're actually pretty good. The good thing is in the kit they had about 20 astronauts with all the equipment and stuff. But my
Wait,
dad said,
actually?
"Oh yeah, they supply a shit ton in the kit with a bigger base as well." But my dad just wanted me to build this for her, so I get to keep the rest of the stuff.
Oh, right on.
HIDF space program.
Oh my god.
No.
You gotta paint the uniform blue.
I mean, you laugh, but this was done. All this space stuff was done in the late 60s, or like in the 60s and 70s. So it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Callum, hear me out. A HIDF space program landing on the moon, planting an HIDF flag, kicking over the American, Chinese, and Russian flags. Boom.
I do have a moon rover. You know, the little buggy. I do have one of those in the set.
Oh, I'll do it.
shit.
Actually,
Have like
I
a
got
bag of HIDF flags in the back, and they're just poking them everywhere.
Make an
Actually, I have a whole-
HIDF Marine moon buggy.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a whole bunch of. For some reason, I found I've got like a whole bunch of. What's the machine gun the Germans used on their bombers? The MG
34?
50.
151.
Yeah.
The one that's got like the ones that they use in their the aircraft. I've got a whole bunch of those. I could probably fit one of those onto the buggy.
Bro, do it.
Do it.
But yeah, so that's all of my stuff.
Just an interesting fact, like due to radiation, it's like the American flag on the moon is actually pretty much bleached white right now.
Ah, it's a
Yeah.
French
So
flag.
when the Chinese get there, they're
It's
going to
the
think that the French had landed there first.
But
Should have
yes,
sealed it.
So that's all things I've been working on.
Love to see it. And here's my slide. Haven't been working on anything really, but I had a birthday.
But that's because you've been working.
That's true.
He's finally
Thank you,
not
Don.
unemployed
Yeah, finally got
anymore.
yourself a real job.
I know. What does that say down there? I can't read that.
Sweep
Sweet.
me off my feet, Daddy Garrison.
Oh my god. Who put that? Don,
Ezra.
was that? Who was?
I'm not that technologically adept.
It was probably Ezra.
Fair enough. So yeah, I had a birthday recently, so I got that SU 100, and then
Happy birthday.
thank you. And then today was Black Friday. Drove 5.5 hours and got to Hobbytown 10 minutes to spare before they closed. And I picked up that Hellcat, the Flak
Hell yeah.
88, the 20 mil, and that German weapon set today. And then started a job finally, an equipment operator position with the city, and I get to play with sweepers and dump trucks. So
He's a union boy.
damn straight till retirement, baby.
Oh yeah, well that Hellcat looks like it's gonna be awesome. You'll have to tell us all about it.
Yes, yeah, and that SU 100 there, I got it built up for the most part, but
Do you?
yeah, I gotta wait until get the crib before I can make it a proper VE diorama for April.
Valid.
Don, I just want to say this is what happens when you cheat on autoloader decals.
Oh God, don't even start. So this is the Avenger TBM3W from Sword, which is a post-war ASWA EW variant, which is what that giant scrotum is hanging off the bottom.
Oh God!
Radar
It's like it's got testicular cancer.
Right. So the idea was that by the time they crammed all of the radar and radios and jazz into this airframe, there wasn't enough weight left over to allow for weapons. So this thing is completely unarmed, and it would have a sister aircraft that was all kitted out with torpedoes and depth charges and all that stuff.
Jesus
so this would be the
Christ.
Hunter. This was the Hunter, and then there would be the Killer. And at least in principle, it seemed to be a fairly effective system. It was never put into practice, obviously. But this is the 172nd kit from Sword. It's actually a half-decent kit for being a short-run, sort of oddball type airframe.
Really, because your interactions in the Discord would suggest otherwise.
Yes.
No, but that's a me problem.
No, you're a skilled modeler. I think Sword just sucks.
No, because the assembly actually went together great. It was once I started trying to put paint to it that everything fell off the rails. So this is marked up obviously as a Royal Canadian Navy. We had 8 of them that we briefly flew off.
Was this
HMCS
I was
Magnificent?
going to say, was this Maggie or Bonnie?
No, this was Maggie. By the time Bonnie came around, these were getting a little long in the tooth,
they
just
they had trackers. at that
retired
point,
them.
right?
We had trackers. And we had helicopters.
Damn.
Like this thing was well past its prime by the time Bonaventure came along.
Man, we used to have an aircraft carrier.
We had 3 at one.
Yeah.
Well, not simultaneously, but
We were one of
We
the
did have
first
3.
nations to have carrier-launched jets that had air-to-air missiles.
yeah, and we basically put anti-submarine warfare like on the map.
We basically,
like a carrier based.
We basically,
Yeah, no one cares.
Listen, Jarhead.
I am a civilian.
Nah. Once a crayon eater, always a crayon eater.
Shut the fuck up.
Everyone, can I please get a hoorah for
Oh my God,
Devil Black
no,
over here?
Dennis.
Yut.
Ah,
1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Anyway, so yeah, I shit the bed with this trying to put these heinous decals on, but I actually finished it tonight. It's done. It actually looks decent. I'll have to put some pictures
It
up
is so
later.
nice to finally see someone making a Canadian Navy aircraft.
Well, there weren't too many of them, and there aren't too many kits to build the ones we had. Good luck finding a Banshee.
Oh god, the Banshee, yeah.
a Banshee. You can
Well, you
find
know,
that in the woods of Tennessee.
Oh, what was the Don, what was that company that went out of business? It wasn't Panda.
It's going to be Tamiya soon.
Kitty Hawk?
Kitty
Kitty
Hawk.
Hawk, thank you. They were going to make a 48 scale Banshee.
Yeah, there was lots of.
That's probably why they went under.
They was also going to make a 35th scale Huey, and yeah.
Anyway, on the brighter side of things, Tamiya's F4UD 1D Corsair,
Dang.
which is going together absolutely swimmingly, and I haven't managed to butcher yet, so stay tuned. I will say, in typical Tamiya fashion, though, it goes together like a dream, but it's lacking in some of its embellishments that other manufacturers might have bothered to include. So I've had to do what I could to detail up the cockpit and the engine.
Which
Those
scale
seatbelts
was
look
this?
Amazing.
48.
Okay.
Yeah, I love what you did with the engine.
This was not. I can't take credit for this. I ripped this off of a YouTube modeler that I follow on
Hey, it
occasion.
works.
Drop a link.
Yeah, I'll post it up. He did a complete build for this kit. So I've just been like following it along halfway and incorporating what I can be bothered to incorporate.
It's taking notes.
Oh, Don, you know what I just realized I have?
What's that?
1 to 48 scale Sea Fury with RCN markings.
No, build it.
Maybe I should do that, yeah. All right.
Get on that. And in celebration of 251 week, this is not a work in progress. I made this ages ago, but it's the Tallery 72nd 251/8, which was an absolute heinous build. And the tracks on it are, well, if you zoom in, you can see. But there you go. That was my contribution to Dirty German Tin Can Week.
How old is that kit by now? The Italeri one?
Ancient.
Yeah.
Let's see what Yield Scalemates has to say. Who lived
I
next
hear a
to the train
train.
tracks?
Choo-choo!
Dennis?
That's me.
I wish. I really
Oh,
wish.
Sorry, that's me. I don't even pay attention to the damn train anymore.
Clint, can I just come to your house, please?
It's a camper.
We're
But
sleeping over.
Alright,
Yeah,
this is the
our
last
train.
251 that I completed with the
Yes.
big Pack 40 on it.
Yes.
Sick.
Wow, look at that. And you built this for the artillery group build.
Yes, I did, didn't I? Yeah. So there's
it looks
videos
nice.
on my YouTube of the complete build log of this.
I'll be following them hoes.
If you have any questions when you get to the 251, it's like I've built like 6 or 7 of these now.
My man.
You might have an interest. I have a feeling you might be interested in this stuff.
Do you perhaps like the German 251
Eh,
and its multitude of variants?
I really enjoy any half tracks. Half tracks and wheeled armor I really love.
Ooh.
And of course, this is the one I'm working on right now. This is the
That's
233
nice.
from AFV Club. Again, it's an 8 rad a wheeled armored vehicle. So kit's been going together really fairly well. It's like I had a problem with a step up at the front of the nose that I had to sand flat, shim it with some styrene, and sand it flat again, and yeah, to eventually I got to where it looked decent.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
The non-disclosure agreement will have been terminated by the time that Callum gets around to editing this video, so I'm just going to come right out and say it. I did the comment. Definitely a surprise to all of you.
Totally, 100%.
Yeah.
Never seen this
No
before.
idea this was coming.
But yeah, I did the Tamiya 1 to 35 scale comment. I guess I'll just shout out the plug right now. Shout out to Great Hobbies and Borgefelt for being so kind as to supply this to me. They build up. You should definitely go and buy one from there. And with that out of the way, yeah. So I built this. I built it as a tank from the 11th Armored Division in 1945 in Germany. It is really, really good. Like, any flaw with this kit is my fault alone. It's really fantastic. And I'm going to piss off Christian here because I've got the mic and he doesn't. This blows me. Unless you like individual link tracks, in which case get the T-Rex set. The Bronco kit has absolutely nothing on this. It is a stinking pile of filth compared to this beautiful Japanese sword folded 300,000 times over.
What did you paint this with?
Tamiya acrylics. But I had to...
Do they have a
What?
Do they have a mix in the
Well,
instructions?
so in the instructions, they recommend you use the XF61 color, which is like deep green, and I did look at it. It is pretty decent. to SCC 15. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. But we didn't have it at the time in any of our stores, so I just used Mike Starmer's mix.
Good. It looks really good.
Thank you.
Now,
It does, man.
The headlight covers, did they come with the kit, or did you scratch build them?
Oh, everything. So one of the things I did here is because this is basically like a half promotional kit. Everything is built out of the box. So everything you see here, minus the 2 figureheads, I did save the ones from the kit because I want to use them on another kit I'm going to be doing. I just figured that they would look a bit better, but other than like the figureheads, everything is completely out of the box.
Oh, nice.
Except the handles.
Oh, well, okay. If you want to hear the story, so the one area where this kit, like, it's a great kit, except for the handles on the rear engine deck, because they're molded on, right, and they don't have any like, what would you call it, like a hollowed out detail, right? So just give me a blob. So I had to cut each one off with a pair of clippers, and then bend the brass rod into the right shape and glue those on. You can sort of see that there. But other than that, yeah, really, really.
Oh, yes, this great Tamiya engineering you've been talking about. Can't make grab handles.
For someone who left the hobby store with, what, 3 Tamiya kits? That's a big game.
And
Actually,
three very old Tamiya kits whose engineering is not going to be up to the quality of that comment.
4 Tamiya kits. Okay.
Well, he got an M18, which is like basically the same level of engineering.
Yes. And I can't wait to build it. I'm so excited.
Garrison, remember when I sent you a photo of this, and like the first thing I said was it has Pershing suspension?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I was so
overall,
excited.
it's I recommend it. It's personally, I never found the comment that interesting until I had it all built up, and I saw, oh, this is what the hype is about. It's good to see British vehicles being done, because I think really historically they've sort of lacked any major attention from the industry.
I like that headphone cable. I wonder where that idea came from.
Me.
Speaking of headphone cables,
Yeah, so this is my Stewart finally done. Yeah, after when did I start this? Like the week we started the podcast?
Before I came on, so it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. You can't really see in that first picture there. You can just it's like a little speck, but there's a little MMP propaganda poster in there. Not much to say because I've kind of been updating everyone on this since I started it, but there you go.
Glad to see it finished, man.
Yeah, thanks.
You really did a good job with that figure.
It looks great.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so that's the Stewart, and then this is some more shenanigans.
What the fuck is this?
I got a Comet. Dennis talked me into it. He gave me a.
I'm doing my job for the hobby store. Don't fire me, please.
he's the Comet hype man. And then that's a Panther he gave me a while ago that I've torn apart to throw some resin stuff from Ezra in there. Yeah.
You deserve all of the lung damage you're going to receive from that.
I really hope you were wearing a respirator.
Respirator? KN95?
Oh, God.
Better than nothing.
Don,
Yeah.
Should we do an intervention here?
No.
Yeah, let's do it.
No.
Let nature take its course.
He's building a Panther.
This is modeling Darwinism.
Yeah.
I put on the KN95 halfway through after I realized it was making me cough a lot more than I thought.
No!
Oh, it's already too late then.
And of course, the Varibuism has taken its course, and I picked up that 1/16th scale figure.
Jesus Christ.
It's for practice. I swear.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. You're the kind of guy who says that kissing the homies is for practice.
It is.
God. Oh!
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Also,
But you picked up a T3, which is cool.
Yeah,
I love that kit. Ever since I got into modeling, like that T3 there has been on my bucket list of kits I've wanted to get. That is actually my dream car right there, a T3 Transporter.
Yet you bought an Iltis.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing.
Tacom.
Tacom needs to make an Iltis.
They need to make a fucking M26 Pershing.
They should make a 2-in-1 Iltis Pershing kit.
Yes, they. Yes,
Toe
they.
Eltis and Toe Pershing.
Oh God.
That's a really nice.
Are you going to put a ZU-23 in the back of the transporter, though?
I was going to put an 88 in.
Yeah. I've got this. I've got the machine gun set from Academy here. I could just fill it with 50s.
Jack, we're on audio. We can't see what you're holding.
Well, you can hear it.
You can hear it.
Yeah, I could just fill the back with 50s, call it HIDF.
That'd work.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past couple weeks here.
That
Good job.
streetcar photo is my new phone background.
It's
Too clean.
it's pretty drippy. Oh,
Yes.
The
boy.
Vargas special.
So
He's not even here. Just skip.
nah, Ezra is too busy shaking the bed right now. But yeah, this is his Vargas Matilda. I think did he use craft paint for this?
I like how his paint bottle is weathered as well.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we're at the point now where we just get through our announcements. So, as we say each week, we've got the Battle of the Bulge group build going on. It's been running since September 1st, and it will be running until January 25th of 2023. Any scales, any kind of project style, anything related to the Battle of the Bulge at all, completely fine to do. There's no restrictions on that. If you want to join the group build, you have quite a few ways of doing it. Just contact us on any of our social media platforms, or just shoot us an email if you want to submit something. Otherwise, feel free to join our Discord. Again, link will be in the description, where you can actually post your works in progress in our specific Battle of the Bulge channel. And if you want to, you can submit your model for judging, because we're going to have a little bit of a competition at the end of the build, and you have the opportunity to win a free Hobby Boss Pershing. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You didn't know
Yeah.
that?
Oh, cool.
We have prizes now?
So actually, no.
Well,
There's
You're a member of the podcast now, so
no. He's alright. He's alright. He can do it.
okay.
I mean, do you want?
I'm not doing it anyway.
never
I
mind.
just want to know where the budget is coming from.
Everyone sent me like $5, and I've got a discount. So
It's out of Pin Juice pocket.
Juice
Well, there you
first
go.
one.
It's coming from our Patreon.
Our one singular Patreon.
Which is just Callum.
Yeah. Does anyone have any announcements they would like to give?
We're gonna have a special Christmas episode. Stand by for next week for that announcement. Bye.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
there
we
you go.
didn't really.
Don, you have to join then. We're going to be making
Yeah.
stuffing.
I promise nothing.
Clint, you should join as well.
I might. Depends what I've got.
Let's
to.
get Val on. We better get Val on.
But we better
Requirement.
get everyone ever
Requirement.
being on the podcast ever.
That will be our Christmas present. is Val
Christmas
joining.
present is Val.
The ghost of MMP future. Alrighty, well.
All
on
right.
that note, bye everyone.
Good job, homies.
All right.
It was a good episode. Thank you.